Hello and welcome to the first episode of Hollow's Hero Reveal Reviews. I know, what a name, I've done a great thing, thank you. Anyway, recently, upon my return to Paragon, I made a video dedicated to covering the major topics and changes that I missed during my time away from the game. Now, during that time, I did a mini review on the 4 characters that I missed, and it went down pretty well, so I knew I had to do more of that. And today, we're beginning with our first reveal review of FaZe, Paragon's newest support. Our review will be cut into 3 major aspects: visuals, gameplay, and lore. Each aspect will get its own feature with a final score. And at the end of each of the reviews, we're going to combine these scores and see how high I place her as a character compared to the rest. Starting with the all-important gameplay, let's discuss how FaZe actually works by learning about her 4 abilities. Telekinetic Link, which is her right mouse bumper or R1, will create a link between FaZe and a target-friendly hero. This can actually be reactivated to pull the tether target straight to her. And while they're linked, these 2 characters, FaZe will then give her health regen to the linked ally. And on top of all of that, she can even use any of her abilities during this link or even reactivate this link and it'll give a quick health regen boost. So she has a way to activate a regen boost and then share it with her linked ally on top of, you know, cards that give regen. So she can be extremely useful for sustaining a fight or lane. The fact that she can pull someone to her will prevent things like ultimates being cast on your ally and you pull them out of there just in time. But what I think we'll see a lot of is jungle ganks. As the jungle comes in to gank the duo lane, she can actually just pull him in at the right moment, speeding the jungler over to the right position. This, as you see in the trailer actually using it on Crunch, might make Crunch more viable. One of his biggest problems is the fact that he has no way to gap close and then stay on a target really if they stun him. So she might bring Crunch back a little bit. Psychic Flare, which is her Q or square, will emit a blast of light around her and her linked target. Now the blast deals damage, but importantly, blinds enemies caught up in the area of effect, so you'll have like a flashbang white screen effect based on what we've seen in the recent community corner. This could be huge. If done correctly, you could blind the entire enemy team during a team fight with a clever use of this ability. If they can't see for a good second or two, the carry's not going to be hitting anything, and in that time, your carry can destroy theirs. This could be massive. We're 2 for 2 on great abilities here, so moving into the 3rd ability, Energy Lance, which is E or circle. She will fire a stream of energy from her hands, dealing damage, and then stacks a slow as it does damage. But the kicker, this is insane. The longer the lance goes, and if she can channel it long enough into the target, it won't just be a slow, it will actually root them in place, which is unbelievably good for a support. She's able to make these amazing plays with a pull. She's able to keep allies alive with that health regen. She's able to blind enemies, which is huge. And then she can slow people so consistently it'll even root them. Her ultimate has to be absolutely diabolical to make up for how good the rest of her abilities are. And here it is, Hyper Flux. Both FaZe and her Link will gain a short movement speed boost, increased attack speed, mana regen, and cooldown reduction. The mana regen's plus 75. That's absolutely massive. So when she casts this, her and her ally are going to be able to run pretty quick. They're going to have huge attack speed, so great for your carry. The mana regen could be really good for your caster because it's 75 mana regen. It's so insane. And of course the massive cooldown reduction as well, which can be great for any carry. Imagine Twin Blast being able to triple shot multiple times in a short period of time. That's scary. So her ultimate, as I was saying, is insanely good, and every other ability she has is insanely good. I'm worried this character's going to be crazy OP compared to the other supports. Now, given the character's unique and powerful kit, how it allows for some insane plays with big team blinds or buffing a carry with that hyperdrive mode, she can release hell upon the enemy. That really consistent slow is going to be great in ganks. Pulling in your jungler at the right moment is going to be great for ganks. There's so much to say about this character's mechanics that's so fucking good. A little too good. She's going to be a game-winning character. She's going to be huge. I think her kit is fantastic. I won't say perfect, because it's very similar to Wisp from Dota 2, so it's not perfectly unique only in Paragon, but it is in fact brilliant. I give this a 9 out of 10 for gameplay. Next up, her visuals. There's no need to waste time here. She has clear and crisp visuals on her abilities. It looks great. The abilities match the character. She actually really reminds me of the kids in that recent film, you know, Logan, where a mutant has some sort of superpower learning to control it. But she's like an adult and she has a lot more control over it compared to the X-Men kids in those films. But we'll get more into that in the lore part, so let's stay on track here. As far as a character goes, if we look at Shinbi, Aurora, and Yin, they have this really disappointing design when compared to each other. They're really similar in the clothing and the movement that leaves them feeling very uninspired when put out next to each other. Of course, the moment any of them does anything, you see their animations and you see their clear difference in character and mechanics. But just stood there, looking at their design, hopefully you see what I mean when I say it looks really similar. This time, however, FaZe breaks the mold with her weird backpack sluggo, what the hell's going on there, and that sweet leather jacket. A really cool hairstyle as well. She's broken free from that one weird getup the rest are wearing, and I think that's good. And finally, she looks even cooler when she's currently linked and maybe even hyperdrived. She gets this crazy glow. I think they've done a really solid job here, and it doesn't have me frothing at the mouth, but there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, if I was frothing at the mouth over a character in a video game, there's probably something wrong with me. I give her visual design an 8 out of 10. Finally, the lore. Let's get right at it. FaZe began to exhibit powers at a young age and was sent to Tavern Industries for special, quote, care. When the other subjects staged a breakout, she joined the cause. Once she was free, she hid her powers, blending in with everyday life in Omega City, until that is, she was led to Agora. I'm very glad we're finally getting some actual valid lore in Paragon at last, not some strange short lines that don't offer much. That said, let's go back to what I mentioned earlier. She's from fucking X-Men. Call it heavily inspired if you'd like. She's a fucking X-Men. She's a mutant. I mean, come on. Young age, has strange powers, gets tested on in a lab just like the kids in Logan, like I said. She breaks free with the rest of the mutant kids, just like Logan. When she's out in the real world, she hides her powers just like a mutant from X-Men. Come on, man. Eventually, she found her way to Agora and ultimately is a playable character. But if you're still not with me on the X-Men thing, she's... come on, they even do it in the trailer. She's a fucking comic book character, just like the stories of X-Men that was shown in Logan. The boys at Epic obviously really liked that film, and I gotta say I did too, so I guess I'm fine with this, but this is crazy. Honestly, she can fit in this world as they finally expand on the lore of Paragon's universe and why we're actually here and fighting. Things are making more sense at last, and characters like Shinbi are still, well, questionable, but at least it's less so now. And FaZe certainly fits in the world more, and I'm happy to see that. She has fun lore, even if directly taken from X-Men. 6 out of 10. Time for our final score. With a 9 out of 10 for gameplay, an 8 out of 10 for visuals, and a 6 out of 10 for lore, I'd say she earns her rating of 8 out of 10 convincingly. I'm really happy to see a new support in Paragon at last, and I hope you are too. Our support players deserve something as fun as FaZe, so I hope she's as viable as she seems to look once fully released, even if it looks crazy broken overpowered. As with every hero reveal, we're gonna have a follow-up video after release to see how she really is in game, so look out for that. And please remember to like the video if you did like it, and share it with anyone who might enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Hollow, and it's great to be back in Paragon. I'll see you next time.